Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. I hope all of you are doing great. Welcome to the Set to Ace program. This program is an initiative from Pejabat Pendidikan Daerah Melaka Tengah as an effort to help the students to achieve excellence in their English SPM examination. It is a weekly program in which every session will discuss all of the English SPM papers part by part. In the last session, Madam Hafsah binti Jalani from SMK Pernu has discussed part 1 and part 2 of paper 1. If you haven't watched it yet, please don't forget to do so. Okay, I'm Mr. HAFIZ from SMK Baru, and during this session, I will focus on part 3 of paper 1. Okay, let's get to it. Okay, so these are the aims of this session. In this session, I will give you an overview of the English SPM format, as well as the reading and use of English paper, which is paper 1. Okay, I will also talk about specific detail about the task types in part 3 of paper 1. And I will share some tips and techniques in answering the question in part 3. And hopefully, from this session, you will be able to boost your confidence to sit for the examination. Now, let's look at the SPM instrument format for English. Okay, so there are 4 papers. Paper 1, we have reading and use of English. Paper 2, writing. Paper 3, speaking. And paper 4, listening. Of course, we will focus specifically on part 3 of paper 1 in this session. Now, let's look at the allocation of mark for each paper. Okay, for paper 1, the total mark is 40 marks. And then as 60 marks for paper 2, 20 marks for paper 3, and 30 marks for paper 4. Okay, however, all of these papers have similar weightage, which is 25% for each paper. Now, let's look at paper 1. Okay, in paper 1, the task type is 3-option multiple choice, where you are given short text. Okay, and then paper 2, we have 4-option multiple choice clues. Part 3, 4-option multiple choice. Part 4, gap text. And part 5, matching and information transfer. Okay, I would like to advise you not to underestimate or not to take paper 1 lightly, because as the weightage are the same for all the papers, or as the weightage is the same for all the papers, it could be potentially the most scoring part of your exam. Now let's look at part 3 specifically. Okay, in part 3, the task type is 4-option multiple choice, and the number of questions is 8 questions. Okay, the format of the task, you will be given one extended text of about 650 to 700 words. For example, an extract from a novel or a magazine. Okay, for this part, okay, the instrument type is reading skill, and the construct or the thinking skill needed to answer reading comprehension question is understanding, okay, applying, analyzing, and evaluating. Okay, so this is a sample of the passage as well as the questions in part 3. So you are given one extended passage, okay, and there are 8 questions that come after the passage. Okay, I will discuss some of the strategies that you can use in answering part 3, and of course, these strategies can be applied to answer other parts in paper 1 as well. Okay, number 1. Okay, plan your time. This is important to make sure that you are able to go through the paper and the rest of the questions. You should set aside some time for tough work or challenging questions. And most importantly, make sure that you have the time to check all of your answers. Okay, next, you should not rush. If possible, read the questions more than once and check the exact requirement of the questions. Okay, next, you should read the entire questions and option. Okay, read a multiple choice question entirely before looking over the answer options. Sometimes students often think that they know what a question is asking before reading it and jump straight to the most logical answer. Okay, this is a big mistake. Read each question thoroughly and identify what the question wants by looking at the keywords. Okay, so you should also use clues when attempting part 3 in paper 1. Okay, and you can use clues from the question, for example, the tone, the grammar clues, and so on. Okay, next, you can also use the process of elimination. You should eliminate the answer options which you are 100% sure are incorrect before selecting the answer you believe is correct. Even when you believe you know the right answer, first, eliminating those answers you know are incorrect will ensure your answer choice is the correct choice. Okay, next, answer the question you know first. If you are having difficulty answering a question, move on and come back to tackle it once you have answered all the questions you know. Sometimes answering easier questions first can offer you some ideas in answering the more challenging question. Okay, next, don't forget to check your answer. After you have attempted to answer all questions, go back and answer the question that you have skipped previously. If you still do not know the answer for a question, you can make an educated guess. And of course, make sure that you answer all questions. Okay, and then the last strategy, practice, practice, practice. Okay, this strategy is important because there are no other strategies that can beat this strategy. Okay, next I will discuss about finding the right keywords in reading. Okay, the scanning process is a very useful strategy when you are answering a multiple choice question in reading comprehension. Okay, it involves locating the answer of the question. Okay, to do this, okay, you need to read the question carefully to find important keywords. Okay, then you should try to understand the meaning of the questions. And then you should identify the focus of the question. Okay, so when finding the right keywords, there are two aspects here. Okay, so the keyword can be found in the question as well as in the text. Okay, but we will look at the keyword in the question first. Okay, most of the time, the keyword of a question comes in the question words itself. Okay, we usually refer to this word as the WH words. Okay, because they all have they all share the same letters, the same first letter, I'm sorry. Okay, which are the W and H. Okay, the first question word. Okay, what? Okay, what is used to ask for information about something? For example, what is his name? Okay, and then we have when. Okay, when is used to ask about time. For example, when did he leave? Okay, next we have where. Okay, where is used to ask about in or at what place or location. For example, where do they live? Okay, then which is used to ask about choice. For example, which color do you want? Okay, and then we have who, which is used to ask about or which person or people. For example, who opened the door? Okay, and then we have whom, which is used to ask about which person or people. For example, whom do you see? Now, the difference between who and whom is that who is used as a subject of a sentence, while whom is used as the object of the sentence. Okay, then we have whose. Whose is used to ask about ownership or possession. For example, whose are these keys, or whose turn is it? Okay, what for and why are used to ask about reason. For example, what did he do that for? Or why does she say that? Okay, and then we have how. Okay, how, the word how can be used to ask about different things. For example, to ask about manner. For example, how does this work? Okay, to ask about condition or quality. For example, how was your exam? Okay, when how is used together with an adjective or adverb, it functions to ask about extent or degree. For example, how bad was the accident? Okay, how far is used to ask about distance. For example, how far is the place from here? How long is used to ask about length for time or space. For example, how long will it take? How many or how much is used to ask about quantity. For example, how many cars are there? Or how much money do you have? Okay, many is used for countable noun and much is used for uncountable noun. Okay, how old is used to ask about age. For example, how old is the building? Okay, so we have discussed about identifying the right keyword in the question. Okay, next we are going to look at how to find the right keyword in a text. Okay, because sometimes your keywords are not the exact keyword as given in the passage, but rather synonyms or similar words. Okay, in this case, you need to use nearby words and your fairer phrasing skill to match the information or the meaning. Okay, let's look at one example of a paragraph and question of how we can find the right keywords in reading. Okay, so let's read the sample paragraph first. We all recall the L'Aquila event of 2009 in which 295 died, but go much further back to Avezzano in 1915, which claimed 30,000 lives, and to the year 1703, when a trio of magnitude 6 quakes killed at least 10,000 people. Thankfully, we tend not to see the death on those scales anymore. And that is because of more robust building, better preparation, and more coordinated emergency responses after the fact. Okay, the question, which of the following is not the reason why deaths are rare with quakes of magnitude between 6 and 7? Okay, and then we have 4 options. A, good planning and preparation. B, quakes are not seen anymore. C, effective construction of buildings. And D, handling the emergency situation well. Okay, if you look at the question and the paragraph, okay, the paragraph does not use the exact keywords as the question. So here you need to locate or identify similar keywords or key phrases. Okay, now let's look at the keyword in the question. Okay, first we have not. Okay, of course, the question requires you to find which of those 4 is not the reason why deaths are rare. Okay, so in the question, okay, the phrase, the reason why, we can locate this phrase or similar phrase in the paragraph. which is that is because. Okay, and then in the question, we have the phrase deaths are rare. Okay, so in the paragraph, the similar keywords are not to see death anymore. Okay, and then we have good planning and preparation. Okay, similar keywords in the paragraph, a better preparation. Okay, and then we have effective construction of building. Okay, so we have the words more robust building. Okay, and then handling emergency situation well. Okay, so in the paragraph, similar keywords are more coordinated emergency responses. Okay, so when we manage to find similar keywords or phrases, then we can locate the correct answer. Okay, which is B. Quakes are not seen anymore. Okay, now, okay, we are going to look at the passage sample in part 3 as well as the questions. Okay, now, first of all, you need to read the instruction. Don't forget to read the instruction of every part because you can locate the clues that will help you to answer all the questions correctly from the instruction. Now, let's look at the sample question, question number 19. Okay, in paragraph 2, why does the writer use the phrase happily watching her in action? Okay, so the question here mentioned where the information can be located, which is in paragraph 2. So you need to go and look at paragraph 2 and locate the answer there. Okay, but before that, okay, let's look at all the keywords in the question. Okay, so we have why. So why, like I mentioned earlier, requires a reason. Okay, and then the words in bold, happily watching her action. So we need to find a reason why the writer used the phrase. Okay, and then we can find the phrase in paragraph 2. Okay, now let's look at the option. Okay, A, she enjoyed being of help to her mother. B, she felt contented with her mother. C, she admired her mother's cooking skill. And D, she found her mother's routine amazing. Okay, we can eliminate the option A because the writer didn't help her mother in the paragraph. Okay, and then we can eliminate option C. Okay, because there's no mention of her admiring her mother's cooking skill there. So elimination strategy is best used when you are not sure of the correct answer and also when you are checking back your answer. So we are left with the options B and D. Okay, so if you look at the paragraph, we can find the word routine there. Okay, and then description about the routine. For example, she would sit on a low stool in the kitchen and chop the wood with a clumsy axe. Okay, and then we have another sentence. She would place the chopped wood under the stove and set them alight. So all of these sentences are describing her mother's routine. So here we can deduce the correct answer, which is D. She found her mother's routine amazing. Okay, next, question number 20. In paragraph 3, what does the writer say about her mother's character? Okay, so we can locate the information in paragraph 3. Okay, now let's look at the keywords in the question. Okay, so we have what? Okay, and then we have the phrase, her mother's character. Okay, so let's go through the paragraph. Okay, times were hard, so my mother could only afford to make us ordinary dishes, such as vegetables with fried shrimp and fried eggs. But for me, sitting at that old wooden table with the whole family and gobbling up the steamy rice and the simple food was very much satisfying. Once in a while, my mom cooked her favorite dish of steamed chicken, and that would be a big occasion indeed. By nature, she was a clean and tidy woman, but sitting by the fire at such moments, her hair would be messy, forehead beaded with sweat, and her cheeks covered in grey ash. But her large eyes shone with a beauty only a mother can have. These wonderful meals Mom labored so hard to prepare helped brighten our life, even as poverty and hard times weigh us down. Okay, now let's look at the options given. Okay, so we have A, she was discouraged by the economic hardship faced by the family. B, she was conscious of the way she looked when she was cooking. C, she was concerned about what the future holds for her children. And D, she was determined to put food on the table for everyone. Okay, so what can we see about her mother's character? Okay, we can eliminate option A because she was not discouraged by the hardship. And we can eliminate option B because she was not conscious of the way she looked when she was cooking. So we are left with the options C and D. Okay, if we look at the paragraph, okay, from the sentence, these wonderful meals Mom labored so hard to prepare helped brighten our life even as poverty and hard times weighed us down. Okay, so here we can see she was determined to put food on the table for everyone. Okay, next, question number 21. In paragraph 4, how did the writer describe their new life in Singapore? So we can locate the information in paragraph 4. Okay, now let's look at the keywords in the question. Okay, so we have how. Okay, we have describe, and then we have their new life in Singapore. So most probably, we need to find description about their new life in Singapore. Okay, let's go through the paragraph. When I was 8, our whole family moved south to Singapore. Life did not improve much as all 6 of us were forced to huddle in a rented room. Life conditions were really difficult. Mom just kept quiet and she preferred to stick with her family behind closed doors. And when she had to stir out of the room, she would go her own way, minding her own business. She was determined not to let the crowded condition prevent her from feeding her family properly. Now Mom would cook using coal instead of firewood. Mom had to buy the coal from the shop and carried it home. The process of cooking using it was even harder, but it did not stop Mom from giving the best to her family. Okay, so what best describes their new life in Singapore? Okay, is it A, they could not go out much? B, the mother started a business? C, the family had to depend on others? Or D, they had to live in a cramped place? Okay, if we look at the sentence, life did not improve much as life did not improve much as all 6 of us were forced to huddle in a rented room. So we can find the phrase, they had to live in a cramped place, is similar to the phrase, were forced to huddle. Okay, so the answer here is actually D. Okay, now let's look at question number 22. In paragraph 5, what was the proof that their life changed for the better? Okay, so we look at paragraph 5 and try to locate the information. But before that, let's look at the keywords in question number 22. Okay, so we have what? Okay, and then the phrase, the proof that their life changed for the better. Okay, so we can find similar phrase here in paragraph 5. Our fortune improved. Okay, so if we go back to previous paragraph, we can see that they were forced to huddle in a rented room. Okay, so the key phrase here is in a rented room. Okay, but in paragraph 5, they finally moved into a new apartment. So from the options given, we can locate the correct answer, which is B. They could afford to get a place on their own. Okay, so because previously they were renting, now they move into a new apartment. Okay, question number 23. What effect did moving to the new apartment have? Okay, if we look at question number 23, it doesn't mention about which paragraph the information is located. So what you have to do here is actually locate the information okay, by identifying the key phrase, okay, moving to the new apartment, which is found in paragraph 5. Okay, and then the answer is found in the following paragraph, which is paragraph 6. Okay, so the keywords in question number 23. Okay, what effect? Okay, and then the phrase moving to the new apartment. Okay, so let's look at the option. Okay, A, it made mom want to return to their old home. B, it meant that providing food was no longer problematic. Okay, C, it encouraged dad to spend more time with the family. And D, it made the writer want to be more involved with the meal preparation. Okay, so we can eliminate option A because her mom didn't want to return to their old home, even though she missed her old home. Okay, and then we can eliminate option D because the writer was not involved with the meal preparation. So we are left with option B and D. Okay, whereby both look plausible. Okay, however, if we look carefully at the paragraph, okay, so let me read the paragraph first. Okay, we now had a large kitchen and most importantly, a gas stove. For mom, all those years of chopping firewood and carrying coal home were over. The spontaneous rush of gas, which now bursts forth at the turn of the knob, must have come as a great relief. Cooking became so much more enjoyable that she bought Cooking became so much more enjoyable that she bought any new recipe books and tried them all. Working by the gas stove, she no longer seemed distracted by distant thoughts, although she still missed her previous kitchen. Mom looked even happier when Dad started to help out in the kitchen. Okay, Dad even accompanied her on shopping sprees. Meals, which had once been a source of comfort, now became one of joy. So if we look at the paragraph, okay, most of the ideas are dealing with the idea that providing food was no longer problematic. So the correct answer for question number 23 is B. It meant that providing food was no longer problematic. Okay, although the option C may seem correct, okay, in the paragraph, it mentioned mom looked happier. Okay, but it's not, but the weightage or the emphasis given in this paragraph is actually about providing food. Now, let's look at question number 24. Okay, why had preparing meals become more pleasurable for mom? Okay, so the keyword or the keywords in the question are why, okay, whereby we need to find the reason of why preparing meals become more pleasurable for mom. Okay, again, okay, this information can be found in the same paragraph. Okay, so we can eliminate option D, having a bigger area made her work easier. Okay, so we are left with option A, buying grocery with that was fun. B, trying out new recipes gave her joy. C, using the gas stove made cooking simpler. Okay, all of these three options seem plausible. Okay, but let's look at option A. Buying groceries with that was fun. Okay, some students might choose this option. Okay, however, it mentioned here, a mom looked happier. Okay, but it doesn't mention about preparing meals. Okay, so we can eliminate option A. Okay, option B is plausible for some students. Okay, from this sentence, cooking became so much more enjoyable that she bought any new recipe books and tried them all. Okay, however, the conjunction that here show that buying the new recipe books is actually the effect of cooking becoming so much enjoyable. So we can eliminate option B. Okay, and the correct answer is actually C. Using the gas stove made cooking simpler. Okay, because when we read the paragraph, we can see a lot of ideas of using the gas stove made cooking simpler. Okay, I hope I'm not going too fast. Okay, next question number 25. How does the writer feel about her parents in the last paragraph? So here in the question, it mentioned where the information is located, which is in the last paragraph. So let's look at the keywords in this question. Okay, how does the writer feel? Okay, so about her parents. So let's look at the paragraph and the option. Okay, in the years that followed, gray hair had slowly appeared on my parents' heads, and so had a sense of contentment with their life. They now live in a good-sized apartment, and the kitchen is equipped with a gas stove, an oven, and a microwave. All conveniences that once seemed so impossible. Sitting on the balcony amidst the gorgeous flowers, they enjoyed peace after all those difficult years. So now let's go through all the options. A, grateful that they can grow old together. B, relieved that their life has become easier. C, envious of the possessions they now have. And D, disappointed that they are not as active as they once were. Okay, if we look at the paragraph, we can find the phrase, a sense of contentment, okay, which carries a positive feeling. Okay, so we can eliminate option C, okay, because the adjective envious carries a negative connotation. Okay, and we can also eliminate option D, disappointed, which also carries negative connotation. So both of these adjectives describe negative feelings. Okay, so we are left with the options A and B. Okay, so if we look at this sentence, okay, now they now live in a good sized apartment and the kitchen is equipped with a gas stove, an oven and a microwave. Okay, all the conveniences that once seemed so impossible. So we can see the idea here that they are relieved that their life has become easier after those difficult years. Okay, so the correct answer for the question number 25 is B. Okay, and the last question, question number 26. Okay, what is the purpose of the writer writing this article? Okay, so is it A, to share precious memories of her mother, B, to recall how she faced the difficulties in her life, C, to look back at how her dad worked hard for the family, or D, to show the beautiful relationship between her and her parents? Okay, so the keywords in the question, what is the purpose? Okay, and then for this question, you have to go through all of the paragraph to find out the correct answer. So if we look at paragraph 1, okay, we can see a lot of emphasis is given, on the writer's mom. Okay, similarly in paragraph 2, okay, also about her mom. Okay, paragraph 3, okay, about her mom. Again, paragraph 4, okay, a lot of the sentences in paragraph 4 about the writer's mother. Paragraph 5, the same. A lot of weightage or a lot of emphasis are given about her mother. Okay, and then paragraph 6, okay, also about the mom. So here we can say that the correct answer is actually A, to share precious memories of her mother. Okay, so 8 questions, question number 19 to 26 in part 3. Okay, so we have discussed all of the questions. Okay, so I hope that from this session, I managed to give you the overview of the English SPM format, as well as the overview of the reading and use of English paper, which is paper 1. So I hope I also managed to describe the specific detail about the task type in part 3 well. Okay, and hopefully you will be able to benefit from the tips and techniques shared. And finally, hopefully you are more confident to sit for the examination. All right. Okay. So don't forget, okay, there is a quiz. So you need to complete the exercise given, okay, via the link provided, and you will receive your e-certificate. Okay, next week, we are going to have our next session with Madam Nolita Binti Mat from SMK Bukit Katil, and she will discuss on part 4 and 5 of paper 1. All right, everyone, that's all from me from this session. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Okay, and I hope this session has been very beneficial to all of you. Okay, take care and bye. See you again. Assalamualaikum.